Hey everyone, so today's going to be a different kind of video. Today I'm going to be talking about my 5 favorite concerts. Now, I've been to a lot of shows in my day, and I plan to go to a lot more. Next to video games, music is one of my favorite things in the world, and I'm lucky enough to live near an area, New York City, where there are a lot of shows that happen. A lot of artists come to smaller venues, to bigger venues, to festivals and stuff like that in like New York City and near where I live. So I've been lucky enough to see a lot of shows and have friends who are interested in music as well. A lot of indie stuff I'm interested in, indie rock, a lot of mainstream stuff as well. And I want to do a list explaining some of my favorite concerts that I've been to. And this was a really hard list to make because I've been to a lot of memorable concerts. But in preparation for this list, I kind of just said, okay, what are the concerts that come to my head first? And these are the ones that came. So I don't know if they're my favorite or just the most memorable or the ones that are special to me, but that's what my brain is telling me. So without further ado, let's get on with the list, shall we? Number 5 over here. Now this is a little unprofessional, but that's just how we do it on the SEL Saucington channel until I actually learn how to do some real editing skills. So number 5 is The Darkness. Now, The Darkness is a band I'm really not familiar with, to be honest with you, but my friend Wayne, now, you're going to hear Wayne probably multiple times in this list because he's one of my concert pals. Now, he's a bigger music fan than me. Loves all, a lot of indie stuff, a lot of unknown bands. He's kind of hipster like that. But he drags me out to a lot of shows, and I appreciate that because it opens your eyes to music that you probably wouldn't have been interested in by yourself in the first place. And I've gained to like a lot of bands through Wayne. But The Darkness was, I know they're sort of a mainstream band. They did the song I Believe in a Thing Called Love, that sort of thing. But I really wasn't a big fan of them. But 2 Halloweens ago, the Halloween of 2015, me and Wayne went to go see this Darkness show in Long Island, the Paramount. And it was a good time, to say the least. The reason why it's number 5 is because me and Wayne just had a great time, Went to the bar beforehand, got a few drinks, went to the show a little tipsy, and just had a blast, man. The vibes were really cool. Everybody was into the music. The guy, the lead singer of The Darkness is a little, he's a little eccentric, he's different and he's got a personality, so he definitely brought a lot of energy to the show. And me and Wayne got pretty hammered, to be honest with you, and we're dancing our asses off, and we were just killing it, man. Like people were just like really they were the crowd's like circling us at one point. And we were probably dancing like fools, but we were having such a good time. And actually, these 2 random girls just come over to us and just start dancing with us, too. So that was definitely a plus. And they were with us the whole night. So that definitely added to the experience. And it was funny. As soon as the concert was over, they were just like, okay, see you later, bye. Like, we were like, oh, you want to go out to the bar afterwards? But I guess they weren't having it. It was just one of those things where, you meet them at the show and then you never see them again, right? So I'm sure you've all been there, right? So that was definitely one of those times. But that's why it was so memorable. Me and my boy Wayne had a great time. Listened to some good tunes, even though I wasn't really familiar with the band. That was definitely a very memorable show. So that's number 5, The Darkness at the Paramount. So number 4 is a little special to me, close to home over here, Radiohead. Now, Radiohead was my band in high school. What can I say? I love Radiohead. They really made me fall in love with music. They really helped me through high school, got me through my junior, senior year, got me through some bad times, some emotional bad times in my life. I love Radiohead. Love all their albums, the bands, OK Computer. OK Computer, when I first heard Karma Police, No Surprises, Exit Music for a Film. Really, what can I say? It hits your heart really, really hard. And I just grew up with Radiohead, man, and I love them. And I luckily, got to see them last summer, summer of 2016 at Madison Square Garden. And it's funny, actually, my friend Chelsea from college, I hadn't talked to her in years, actually, and she texted me one day because I knew she was a big fan of Radiohead, and we listened to them in college and together and talked about them all the time. And she actually texted me one day randomly out of the blue and said they were coming to Madison Square Garden, and I said, well, you should come down, because she lived upstate New York at the time. And I'm like, you should just come down and we'll just go, you know, we'll figure it out and we'll just do it. And that's exactly what happened. July of 2016, you know, she came down and we went to the show and it was great to see her. And we had a blast. It was just, you know, we talked about some good memories, enjoyed some awesome, awesome music. It was a shit show with trying to get tickets, by the way. Through Ticketmaster, it was really tough to get tickets. I tried to get tickets and it kept crashing on me. You know, the day the tickets went on sale, everybody was trying to get tickets, so it was impossible. So even at StubHub, man, like, you know, I love these sites. They're really good for getting tickets, in my opinion. I've had positive experiences. But even with StubHub, I was in checkout, and like it would say, like, you know, do you want to purchase these tickets? And I said yes, and then it would say these tickets were repurchased. So it was like freaking impossible. But I ended up getting tickets, and we sat in some really shitty seats. Not gonna lie, but we really made the best of it, and it was a fine concert, you know. The vibe was really great. They came out for 2 encores. They played their newest album mostly, which is pretty good, A Moon-Shaped Pool. Pretty good album, but they played a lot of their hits too. Paranoid Android for one of their encores, and Let Down was from OK Computer, which was one of my favorite songs. I lost my shit when that came on. So all in all, it was a great concert. I had a great time, and I got to see an old pal that I hadn't seen in a long time. It was great to reminisce with her, something I will... you know, I'll never forget. So, that's number 4, Radiohead at Madison Square Garden, July of 2016. Alright, so number 3 over here is The War on Drugs. Now, how I got familiar with War on Drugs? Well, basically, we have an indie radio station here called WFEV. They play a lot of indie music. And, well, I heard one of their songs on the radio, Red Eyes, from their album Lost in a Dream, and I thought it was such a great song, such a positive, energetic vibe to it. And just listen to it. It's hard to explain, but it's a feel-good type of song. And their album Lost in a Dream, that tone is throughout the entire song. So I let my friend Wayne know about The War on Drugs, and I'm not really sure if I introduced him to them or not, but basically he started to really get into them too. And actually, July 1st, 2015, excuse me, he texted me that day for my birthday, and he said, listen, I got 2 tickets to The War on Drugs. You want to go in September? And I said, hell yes. So September rolls around, we go to the show, and it was just an amazing performance, Radio City Music Hall. And it was a great, they played the entire album, Lost in a Dream, and it was just such a euphoric experience. Like listening to them play that album just all the way through. They took like no breaks. You know, usually, you know, bands will take a break through each song, kind of talk to the audience, and maybe like get a drink of water or something, right? And just take a break and prepare for the next song. But no, they play like the whole way through. Maybe it took like 1 break. And they would just lead into the next song with such grace and such energy. And it was just such a euphoric experience. I just remember everybody was just, you know it's a great show when everybody, you just feel the vibe throughout everybody else that's there. You kind of just feel it, and it really just enhances the experience of the show. And everybody was just in such a euphoric state. It was great, and I remember to this day. And I know the War on Drugs are playing again, I believe, in October in New York. So I'm looking forward to it. I know they have a new album coming out. So, but Lost in a Dream, check it out. Such an amazing album, and to hear it live was a real big treat. So that's number 3. 2 over here is another special concert that I went to. It's Phantomgram. Now, I got introduced to Phantomgram by my friend Chelsea, the same girl who I talked about with Radiohead. And basically, she said, Chris, you should check out this band. I really like them. You know, we used to text back and forth. We still do a lot about music and stuff and bands we would recommend to each other to check out. And she introduced me to Phantomgram. And I listened to their album Voices, and that quickly became one of my favorite albums. Howling at the Moon, Fall in Love, Nothing But Trouble, Never Going Home, all amazing songs. The whole album's really good. Kind of like The War on Drugs, just a really positive energy to it. Just really loud and just a lot of, just like an experimental album. Electronic, mostly. But just a different, interesting spin on it, I guess you would say. And Sarah Berthold has a really amazing voice. So, recommend that album. Check it out for sure. But basically, they were playing in New York. I couldn't see them And she made me jealous because she saw them, because she lives in Maryland now, actually. So she saw them there, but they actually were coming back in January, and she invited me to go. So I took off of work for a couple of days. I went down to Maryland, and basically I got there like the day of the concert, and I got there like earlier in the day. So basically we went out and kind of just, it was actually Martin Luther King Day, so it was perfect. And so everybody was like off, you know, so she was off. I had to work, but I took off. But anyway, we went out and basically just day drunk the whole time. Got food and stuff. Introduced me to her cousin Robin, who was really cool. We basically just hung out the whole day and talked and had a great time. Went to the show, and her cousin Robin came also, who never really listened to Phantogram before. And it was just an amazing show. They put on a really good show. One of the more memorable songs, Fall in Love from Voices, that I was talking about before. Just when that beat drops at the beginning, it was incredible. Throughout the whole show, they were using like, you know, like a light mechanism in the background that would flash at different points of the songs that they were playing. But Fall in Love, you felt like the energy and like the vibration when that beat dropped, and everybody just went crazy. And we were kind of up front, and I guess Sarah, the lead singer, noticed how like we were dancing like really hard, you know, and just having a good time. And she comes over to us and she starts like singing with us, right? And it was really cool. And I actually reached out my arm and she grabbed my hand and walked away, and it was really awesome. So that was just a great show. Phantogram at Rams Head Live in Maryland, Baltimore. So just a really good time, man. Just went to Maryland, see my friend, met other cool people, and it was just a really positive time. So yeah, Phantogram. Okay, so number one, the moment we've all been waiting for, all like 4 of you who are watching this video. I appreciate you all, but number one, another childhood favorite, and we all know him. He's the Long Island native himself, Mr. Billy Joel. Now, childhood favorite, like I said, I can go on all day about Billy Joel, you know. Back in high school, me and my friends used to go to all these cover band concerts for Billy Joel. One of the more popular ones was Big Shot. He used to play all over Long Island, and we used to see him all the time. And I can go on forever about the memories from that show, but I won't, because I'll spare, you know, this video will be like 2 days long. But we loved Billy Joel, man, and I had the opportunity to see him 2 years ago. I got tickets for my birthday. Now he plays at MSG every month at Madison Square Garden, but I got to see one of his shows like a couple years ago. I took my friend Wayne because he's my concert pal, you know, and he invited me to War on Drugs, so it was only natural. I had to invite him to Billy Joel. And, dude, it was incredible. The man still got it, guys. The man still got it. You know, he's put on a few pounds over the years, Billy. You know, I love you. But he fucking put on an amazing show, dude. And I told Wayne, we were sitting there, and I'm like, Wayne, if he opens with Miami 2017, I'm gonna lose my shit. And guess what? And I lost my fucking shit, man. And I lost my shit through the entire show. Played all the good ones. You know, we all know them. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Piano Man, Ballad of Billy the Kid. You know, the encore came on. He played Still Rock and Roll to Me. The only hit that he didn't play was Only the Good Die Young. A little disappointed by that, but that's okay. He even played some of his music from Cold Spring Harbor, his first album, which, you know, doesn't really play that often, I guess. You know, it's one of his, you know, it's not the one he's known for. He's more known for The Stranger, you know, and other albums after that. Played River of Dreams. That was a fun one too. It was a great show, man, and it was funny because it was a bit of an older crowd, right? And next to me was a guy, and I guess he was with his wife or his girlfriend, and he was sitting down the entire show. I kind of felt bad because I was going crazy, and I'm like, dude, you spent all this money. I mean, you got it. Who doesn't like Billy Joel? Who doesn't like Piano Man? Only, you know, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. Show no energy, but I didn't care. Still had an amazing time. I gotta say, it was one of my favorite concerts. You know, like I said, this list is tentative. It could change any time. Tomorrow I'm gonna have a different list, but I just wanted to talk about some of my favorite concerts that I went to, so I hope you enjoyed. Have a few honorable mentions, so stay tuned for that. So some honorable mentions before I close out this video. I just want to mention Bruce Springsteen did the entire River album last year in Brooklyn. and played for like 5 hours. So that was a great time. The guy was just tired listening to the guy. The guy's like freaking 75. Still puts on an amazing show. So you go, Bruce. My favorite band of all time, Beach House. I've seen him twice. Once at Webster Hall and once at King's Theater in Brooklyn. Amazing shows, especially the one at King's Theater. Just a beautiful theater in Brooklyn. They renovated it, I think, last year. And it's like a Gothic church in there. Just a beautiful atmosphere. So that's another one. Modern Baseball, an indie punk band. Saw them twice. Once at Irving Plaza and once in Long Island, the Revolution Club. And just a lot of intense moshing at those shows. A lot of crowd surfing. Just a lot of fun. I love that shit. It really kind of adds to the show, the atmosphere. Best Coast, another great show. Saw them at Terminal 5. They were playing their new album, California Nights, at the time. And surprised, it's like, kind of like a guilty pleasure of mine, but there was surprisingly a lot of moshing going on, so that was a ton of fun. Went there with my buddy Wayne as well. What else comes to mind? I mean, I've seen so many shows, I should think of more, right? Well, I think I'll just close it out there, guys. No one wants to see me think too long, so if you have any suggestions, leave them down below. Some music that I should check out or something, or and whatnot. So catch you guys later.